Good day, ladies and gentlemen. How's everyone doing? So, how many of us have heard the saying, the evil that men do leave after them? Everyone. I'm sure some of us have watched movies in Nollywood that actually act out such a theme. How many people believe in karma? Okay, interesting. Just two people. Okay. So, ladies and gentlemen, my name is Adaku Apugo. I am a policy analyst. I'm a policy consultant. I have over 10 years working in the legislative arm of government, advising the leadership of the House. I'm here to share with you guys 3 lessons I learned about karma and why I believe it is not just a 5-letter word. So back in the 9th Assembly, I had the privilege of working with some wonderful, amazing, inspiring individuals. Among such individuals, for anonymity's sake, I would name Honorable D. Honorable D was actually a very charming but deceptive individual. He was a very braggadocious, though not arrogant individual. In fact, a lot of the times when you would meet Honorable D, after he told you, hello, my name is Honorable D, before you could say Jack Robinson, he's already sharing with you the fact that he owns this and this, he can do this and this for you, he can help you win election. In fact, as a matter of fact, my boss didn't even know that he wasn't a member until much later, So in the process of working with him in the 9th Assembly, I also decided to dabble into real estate. And I remember approaching him and I'm like, Honorable, you come and buy property from me now? And he's like, Adaku, don't worry. Even me, I have properties in Guzape in this. I said, that is well and good. Help me to help myself. Come and buy property from me. And in the end, he just went on and on about how he has bought half of Abuja. And I'm like, okay, no problem now. But that was him. Like, I feel like it did something to him to show you that maybe it was a low self-esteem thing, because I feel like people who do that, actually, they suffer from low self-esteem. But in the process of everything going on, like I said, remember, he was charming but very deceptive. As a matter of fact, I had a colleague of mine who reached out to me once, and she was explaining to me how she had reached out to a member friend when she was trying to pay her daughter's school fee. And as a matter of fact, Honorable D, the member had linked her up with Honorable D in the process of giving her a project. And the idea was that for Honorable D to implement the project, and whatever came out of it, they would give her the money to help her with the school fee for her child. Well, guess what? He was a charming but deceptive individual. They implemented the project. Honorable D ended up chopping the whole money. And she was very distraught, and she reached out to me, hoping that I could help talk to her. And I told her, sorry, Otilo, you will not be the first, you will not be the second, you will not be the third. Anyway, we progressed into what was the 10th Assembly, and, Honorable D, being very jovial, very, charming, all that, was able to charm his way also into the leadership, and he saw himself at an even larger position. And I remember once questioning, and I said, God, you have a way of rewarding people, but who am I to question you? Because interestingly enough, Honorable D and I, we worshipped in the same church. And I remember there was even a time, our reverend reached out to me. He needed intervention for his wife. And, I was like, oh, you're actually, you don't have a problem, because you have someone who actually has a bigger voice than I do in the house. And I said, talk to Honorable D. And he goes, please, I don't want wahala. I say, even you two in church, it has reached here. So I laughed about it and I said, okay, we'll see what we can do. But God knows how he picks his own people, because with all I could say was his vices, because we all do have our vices, we must confess. But like with all his vices, Honorable D was very good. When he came to church matters, he would help raise funds and all that. That was like his happy place, So with all his vices, one of these days, I was on a Saturday, I went to church for sanctuary keeping. I'd not in so much stepped into church and I got a call. What happened? Remember the lady who Honorable D deceived as regards her daughter's tuition? She called me and she said, Adaku, where are you? And I said, oh, I'm in church. Why? And she said, guess what? And I said, what? And she said, Honorable D is dead. I couldn't believe it. I broke down. I went straight to the altar and I broke down. Why? Because I felt guilty. I questioned myself. I said, God, forgive me for ever questioning Honorable D in the sense of his lifestyle. Why do I say so? So I started with asking you guys a question. Do you believe that the evil that men do live after them? The 3 lessons I learned. Number 1, the evil that men do actually really do live after them. When Honorable D passed away, remember the house he talked about? Honorable D died 2 weeks to his birthday. The idea was that he was going to use that house to launch his birthday. Or that money that he actually ended up fleecing people for, he used it for that house, but he never ever lived one day in that house. The second lesson, evil does not pay. Why do I say so? Most people who called me, nobody ever called to condole about Honorable D. Why was it? In fact, I had a member who once reached out and said that man will rot in hell. Because why? Honorable D had also fleeced him. The third lesson I learned was that all is vanity. Guess what? As we speak, Honorable D hasn't been buried. Why? Because in the end, everybody is fighting for his property. The same property that he fleeced and he deceived people for. Now, other people are going to end up enjoying the money. So I summarize to say that karma is not what? It's not actually a 5-letter word. The evil that men do actually does live after them. Thank you.